Hello. Hello. It's time. Oh, what is my hair doing? You may be wondering. It's doing something amazing. There's your answer. Welcome to Game Pass Sampler, where I check out the latest and greatest in what's on Game Pass for the PC. I'm just going to say it up front, because if I don't, then I will be asked about it. I'm not going to pay for the Bridget DLC. I would like to have access to Bridget in the video game, but I don't want to pay like $6 American for a character I may not play again in the future, because I think I'm going to like this fighting game more than I enjoyed the JoJo's, but I don't know if I'm going to $6 enjoy it. I think it's communicating with server. I'm very glad I went in and I got to this menu basically last night, because there was a whole ton of terms and conditions I had to scroll through, and that wouldn't have made good content. GG World. Here's what I know about Guilty Gear Strive. It's a fighting game. It's got some really interesting story stuff. I'm going to try the tutorial because it's been a minute since I played a Guilty Gear, and I want to see how their tutorial is. There's an eagle, in case you didn't know.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven, or hell.
Should we rock?
Saul versus Kai.
Objection? Oh, I see. This will be over once you reduce my health to 0, as they say. That's a grab. Well, the best way to avoid being hit is to hit you so much that you can't hit me.
Saul wins. Duel 2.
Aww. My opponent's gonna attack me? That's not fair. Whoa. Okay. See, now I actually need to, know Saul's moveset a little bit better, which I don't. Like, that's a pretty good move, but it's a little slow, so I'm trying to figure out. There we go.
おい、いつまでやらせる気だ。終わりだ。定式的と言ったろ。こんなのやったことにすればいいだろう。記録映像。最近は便利だが面倒だ。なるほどな。じゃあ最後に派手な記録を残してやるか。それはいいアイデアだ。今度は本気で迎え撃つ。
What counter? Because this seems like a pretty... I mean, I don't want to spam a single attack, but... That one seemed pretty effective.
今ここで覚えたことは道場で確認できる。もっと実践的な技術もたくさん教えてくれるはずだ。おい、まさか道場に行けってのか。これを言うまでが形式なんだ。別に行かなくてもいい。結局
That's what I was thinking, right, Tal? And welcome on in. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this is probably just a movie.
旅先では手紙くらいよこせよ。
15 gamer points for finishing the tutorial. I'll look at mission mode. What kind of mission is it? Move swiftly for a chance to attack. This seems like learning things. I'm gonna be foolish and I'm just gonna dive right in.
Who dares to enter the mayhem?
Okay, so I probably don't want a low star character. If I squint, I can see it does say ease of use. Tempted to just do random. I mean, they all look interesting. You know what? Let's go May. Let's go May. Chips is enough. Appreciate that the loading screen is watching a bald eagle in flight.
Society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts, heaven, or hell. May versus Chip. Duel 1.
I love the little flavor text that pops up, and it's so dense that you are obviously not supposed to read it all. The character you've chosen is brimming with possibility. They move with your input, something along those lines. It's very good. Thank you. Thank you, Guilty Gear. Okay, figuring her out. Ooh. No, thank you. First round of arcade mode, I can get. Okay. If I had lost first round of arcade mode, I would have felt pretty bad. I know that you can like decide the difficulty based on your performance in this fight, but I feel like I'm going to give it my best effort and see what happens. And I might be thinking of an older Guilty Gear. Or even a different franchise, but I thought it was Guilty Gear. Okay, yeah. So this may have been a mistake, but we're gonna try and see how we do.
おかしいな。女子力を磨くはずなのに。
あ？じゃあいい女ってなんだ？金か？見た目か？性格か？
確かに。なんだろう。
Hey Faust, Route Extreme, great, great, wonderful. I would obviously describe my skills with Guilty Gear as extreme.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
This game just has such an aesthetic, and I am here for it in so many ways.
泣いても知らないよ。
May versus Faust. Duel 1.
And between this and Hi-Fi Rush, the return of really good-looking 3D cell shading, I am absolutely here for it. Like that look, oh, it's very good. There was a time it was not very good. And I'm glad that is no longer the case. Please? Did I do the thing? I did the thing. Defeated the opponent with less than 30% of health left while in a match.
なる一緒。
May wins. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Hey! Well, we countered each other. How nice. Okay, that move I don't enjoy. I don't like it when that happens. Cool. Please, there we go. Okay. That started out a little rough, but we pulled it out.
Wins.
Offense, heart. I was thinking that it was blockable because it felt like it was a little too far away to be a throw. My technique was bad, is what I'm seeing. Ah, some nice offense. Yeah, my technique. Okay. Yeah, my guard needs work. I will definitely agree with that. The point where the game does just say, no, you're not good enough to beat this stage, I feel is going to come up fairly
Mankind
soon.
knew that they cannot change society.
But I'm going to keep giving it my all until then.
On themselves, they blame the beasts, heaven,
よいしょ。
or hell.
トリックを。ごめん、忘れて。泣いても知らないよ。
May versus Jacko.
Oh, nice.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
おいで。
May
Oh dear. Oh dear. Ouchie. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You did get me there. That was a good counter by me, though. You have to admit that much. Dolphin. Huh.
Wins. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Considering I'm going on vibes, I feel like I'm doing pretty okay. I don't know what happens if I hit that, and I don't really want to experiment because I feel like it will be bad. Oh, okay, that worked out all right. Please. I don't know if I'm in range. I don't think that did anything. Okay. We're learning. You have such a full tension gauge, and I don't like that. Okay.
Slap.
You know, if I'm doing the right thing, then I'm going to keep doing the right thing.
Wins.
It did say, I think Mei was like a 4-star ease of use character, so that tracks that there's not a lot of nuance. I'm mostly using on the Xbox controller the Y and B buttons and occasionally mixing in the others. But they feel so short range.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts, heaven, or hell.
いい試合にしましょう。
子供だと思わない方がいいよ。
May versus
Yeah.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ow. Here for that. Yes. Oh, I got a little combo. Okay, you did read that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, this is where the game takes the gloves off. Okay. Oh dear. I was trying to do that sort of thing.
Loses.
Yeah, that's true.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. It's getting too complacent. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is what we're doing. Okay. I feel it now. Too far away. Way too far away. Oh! Dang. Well played. Well played, computer.
いい勝負でした。
Kai wins.
It does feel like, yeah, that did feel like a checkpoint battle. Of, hey, do you have what it takes to beat this? No. Okay. I'm gonna try a harder character and see how that goes.
Who dares
And then probably wrap up. Rytel, if you have a suggestion of one that isn't, you know, awful, but is interesting. Like, I'm thinking Milia, which they say is a 2-star. But if you don't have a suggestion, that's also okay. And I could just go rando, huh? Leo. Let's try Leo.
Leo White Fang.
Which one's ram lethal? Wielder of 2 giant swords. I'm here for 2 giant swords. Yeah. Hi again, Faust.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
I don't expect to win arcade mode,
Blame the beasts. Avid.
but I'd like to give it a try. I do what I want.
追わないで
Yeah.
Ramathal versus Faust. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Okay. Feels good so far. Oh, oh.
Slap.
回復を待つ少し休んで
Ramathal wins.
Ramlethal. Okay. Why did her little buddy eat her hat? Why did this happen? Well, buddy, you know what? That was on you. Yeah, that was on me. I ran right into that. No, thank you.
お願いお願い
Slap.
あなた大丈夫？
私の任務はアジンの保護この先はもっと危険だよ
だから行く。
Giovanna.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts. Avid.
Ooh. I don't think I have seen the animation for it.
適当に切り上げていいですか？
話が済んだのなら始めよ
Ramathal versus Giovanna. Duel 1.
Incredible.
Let's rock.
He runs a wheelchair at full speed into your shin. I am here for it.
う決戦さ
得意ですよ。
回復を待つ少し
Hey, now the hat's all wet.
Wins.
Okay, so B is what I can use to manipulate the back sword, it seems. We can launch the swords as projectiles, is what I'm picking up. Is that true? I'm not sure, but it feels true right now. And now there's a puppy.
勝ててない
Ramlethal wins.
Well, my technique is better, evidently.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves,
Yeah.
they blame the beasts. Heaven or hell.
勝ち負けはね、境地を知るだけだ。
その言葉の意味確かめたい
Ramlethal
I was guessing you could do something with them
Duel 1.
while they're on the ground, and picking them up would be the simplest thing.
言って貫いて
Hey,
勝負貫いて決めるねじ伏せる
okay. Well, that was rude. There we go.
回復を待つ少し休んで
Ramlethal wins. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Ow. I made a mistake.
お願い
Shoot. Well played, computer.
だが目をそらすな。
Ramlethal loses. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Oh, oh. No problem.
ベルフィス貫いて
Okay. I've got a few moves. Like the launching, I've got that pretty well settled.
私は強いだけ勝てて
Beyond that, I'm basically button mashing.
Wins.
And the technique score this time does show it. My guarding technique, I will agree, is very bad. Oh, hey, Saul.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
覚悟はできてんのか。
頑張ろう。そうしよう。
Ramlethal versus Soul. Duel 1. Let's rock.
お願い。
Brutal. And, dare I say it, rude. Yeah, stage 4 seems to be about my limit. And that's okay. It gives me something to strive for if I choose to return to Guilty Gear. Which honestly I might. This has been, especially compared to the other fighting game I've played recently on stream, which was the JoJo's one. I'm having a lot of fun. It is something to Guilty Gear strive for. You're absolutely right. Welcome on in. Oh, oh. Are you just toying with me, bud? Well? I don't know why that one went better, but it sure did.
Ramlethal wins. Duel 3. Let's rock.
I'm glad to hear it. I hear good things. I cannot remember that character's name right now because my brain is filled with fighting games, but the Secretary of Defense, is that what he is? Yeah, the character design in Guilty Gear are top tier. Yes. Please. Please. Fighting games are fun. Fighting games are fun and good. I didn't win anything. I'm just button mashing. No, that's an oversimplification. I am trying to use some technique. Yeah, the technique was not good, but we got through it somehow. Okay. Okay.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
I like that the eye patch says hello. That's so polite.
Ramlethal versus Sin. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Woof. Just a flag. Just carrying around a little flag. That's what I was trying to do. Ow. Woof.
Ramlethal loses. Duel 2. Let's rock.
I'm getting a lot of color guard energy off of this guy, so that does track for me. Could you not, actually? Just one hit, please. Okay.
Slap.
回復を待つよ。少し休んで。
Ramlethal wins.
Sometimes you just need that one hit, and that's the scariest moment. I'm actually really good at this game. Yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, please, please. Okay. If I had lost after all that, oof.
意味はあったよ。でも
Yeah,
わからないから続ける。
the sword just comes on back on its own pace. Puppy! My damage, it says, was bad, which is interesting to me. I guess I was doing a lot of low damage attacks. My guard remains bad. My input and versatility remains not great. But my guts. Can't deny the guts. Yeah. Just a little guy.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. Heaven or hell.
As one does. As one does. Well, thank you.
その言葉の意味確かめたい。
Ramlethal versus Eno. Duel 1. Let's rock.
お願い。
Nope, nope, should have just guarded. Okay. jumping for that was a mistake. Oof, oof. Correctly punished for my mistake. Too far. Way too far. Thought she was pressing harder than that. I was incorrect. Gambled wrong. Yeah. The animation is just so good. I am here for it. Now that was not very polite. Do you realize this, I know? Do you realize that wasn't very polite? Eno, excuse me. Full marks for heart, 0 marks for technique. Incredible. I think that's absolutely right, Guilty Gear Strive. At the bottom, you probably can't read it. Let's see, in the bottom left. I don't believe in any miracles. I'll risk a loss any day. Gambling's only for fools. Take nothing for granted. If you don't seize the chance, it's over for you. And then below Guilty Gear Strive, we've only got one sky. Blue, red, and black paranoia. What is it like to you? No one can see the colors but you. And yeah, above wins and losses, it says victories and defeats, but the results are not all. Just the little subtitles. Oh, or in some cases, super titles. I am so here for it. It's extremely good. I had heard good things about Guilty Gear Strive, and I can see why. Oh, we do need to hydrate. Thank you for that. Oh, I did need that. Like, I don't think I'm going to put in a lot of time on Guilty Gear Strive, but if I want to pick up a fighting game, I'm probably going to pick this one up. It feels very good. And the roster is contained enough that it's not like even a Soul Calibur where it's like, there are so many, I'm never going to learn how to counter all of you. Whereas with this one, even with the DLC, there's like, what, 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then another 11 down here. 22. That's much more manageable than a lot of the fighting games out there. And so I think that's neat. Hey, if you have Game Pass, try this game. It's good and it's fun. And it's a good fighting game. That's my recommendation. And there's just there's a story mode if you just want to see the story also. That's Guilty Gear. I had fun with it, but I don't want to play it anymore right now because I am afraid, I'll tell you what, I am afraid my performance is only going to go down from there. And I don't want to do that on stream.